Yes, I am so excited about this web analyzer. I tell you what, it has awakened the inner scalper. You know, when I first started trading, of course, I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was buying when the candles went up and selling when they went down. But I was having so much fun and I loved it. And not to say that charting isn't good and fun, because I am an addicted charter. I love to chart. And so I think I have every pair charted and I love it. But I am having so much fun with this web analyzer. And there's a couple of things that I'm going to show you. I'm going to be sharing my screen here. Let me go ahead and do this. See if I can make that work. There we go. All right. So there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. We did just have a trade come out 5 minutes ago. Hopefully there'll be another one out in just a few minutes. Let me see if I can get rid of some of these Zoom tools so I won't get distracted, because I do rabbit trail easily. So one of the first things that I want to mention is that, you know, I did say that this is a fantastic product for, you know, just getting in the trade and scalping, which that's what we're going to be talking about here in just a minute. One of the things that I don't want people to think is that charting isn't important, because yes, it is important. It's extremely important. So when you guys, you know, first come in and first learn how to trade, then you're going to be able to use the web analyzer. You're going to take those trades. You're going to be able to use the swipe trade app, take those trades. But the importance of learning how to chart is extremely important, because, you know, we always talk about trading with the trend. The trend is my friend. And so I'm just using AUDJPY as a example here. So this is on the weekly chart. I like to chart on the weekly. That's where I start. I look at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, and then work myself down into the hourly. But anyway, so, you know, one of the things is here, if you'll notice, you know, the weekly, the trend was in a downtrend. And then we had a trend reversal. This is a confirmation. We had 2 solid phases done. This is a trend reversal. But look at this. If the trend is going up and we don't have anything charted, and say, for instance, that price was up here at this very tip-top wick, and all of a sudden you're like, well, the trend is my friend. The trend is going up, so I'm going to buy. Well, you're going to buy here at the top of this wick, and then look at this, guys. 77 days later and 600 pips, you'll be going, what happened? You know, the trend is my friend. It's going up. I'm going to buy. But because that you didn't chart, you don't know that we were at the top of this channel, and that at the top of the channel, typically what we see here is some downward movement. And then, so that wasn't maybe the best time to get into a buy in an uptrend. So what we do now, it's at the bottom of the trend, and actually it's also at the 61.8 on my fib, which is my sweet spot. It's where I like to enter into trades. Then now would be a good time, hint, hint, to look at buying AUDJPY. And so, you know, with this chart here, I know that I can look at buying for a good 557 pips, because people are like, where in the world do they get these long-term trades at? So, you know, with looking at maybe some pullback here at this resistance in like 100 pips, whatever. So I'm not really, you know, I am going to be talking about the web analyzer, but I want you guys to see that. Ooh, cha-ching, I like it. I like it. Let me go look and see what's happening over there. This is a potential sell on EURUSD. Now, the reason why I'm stopping right in the middle of that is because I want you to see something. The first thing I want you to see is that this is a potential sell, and if you're going to use the strategy that I'm using, then you're going to click on EURUSD, and you're going to go to your phone, and you are going to put in a sell market execution sell. Now, I understand that there's been some hiccups in this is a short. Let me just go over and put it on here. Okay, so I understand that there's some kind of hiccup, whereas the settings button isn't working, but I went ahead and just clicked on the short trading position. I'm going to go over this in detail in just a minute, and we're going to look at this in detail. So basically what we did is we put in a sell. Look, where's my phone? And it's so easy to put it in on your phone. I'm going to do mine right now too, instead of missing a trade while I'm talking. It's a little bit prior to when I really, I've adjusted several things about my trading with the web analyzer since we last did a meeting. For me personally, I'm growing into liking the 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time trading time frame, but we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So anyway, everybody put in their trade. If you're just now getting started, I highly recommend that you do demo. And I also recommend that you put in a 15 pip stop loss and a 5 pip take profit. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And if everybody will just make sure, because we are recording, if you will make sure.
Hey, loser.
Lee, unmute Lee.
Okay, so thank you. So we want to keep the call really good and clear because we're going to for working on this for a training video. So if everybody will stay muted, that would be fantastic. All right, so if you don't know how to count pips, please go to your IML basics and watch a Daisy's training on what is a pip, because she will teach you how to count pips. All right, since this isn't working, I'm going to jump over to EURUSD on my trading view. And I'm going to drop this in really quick right here. This is a sell. And then I'm going to go to the settings. And I'm going to put in 17917, which is where I got in at. And I'm going to give it 15 pips and 5 pips. Now we're going to go over this in detail in just a moment. All right, we're going to go in detail in a moment. All right. So I just wanted to make sure that while we were trading or training, that you guys put that in demo, and we're going to go right back to where I was. All right, so I was right here. Now, as I said, it's so important. So that was a EURUSD, and I don't think I have that charted in TradingView yet, so I won't be able to tell you anything else about that. But I just want to just emphasize here that it's important, guys. Learn how to trade a chart. Learn because you'll be able to be a much smarter trader, and you'll be able to look to the left for clues and all of the important stuff that you will be learning all throughout IML Academy. Okay, so right now, the second thing I want to talk to you about is contradictions. And what's happening here is that the web analyzer is brand new. It just came out a little over a week ago for all of us to start using. And so what you're going to find is you're going to hear one video, and I'm going to say, I use 10 pips take profit and 25 pips stop loss. And then you'll hear another video, and it says, I'm using 3 to 5 pip take profit, and I'm using a 10 pip stop loss. And then you might hear another video, and it'll say, I'm using 5 pip take profit and a 15 pip stop loss. Well, guys, the reason why that is because I am consistently doing data analysis. I'm going to just show you a little bit of my data analysis here. So I am keeping all of the trades that I'm taking on the chart. And so what I'm doing is I'm finding out what is working best. And so what time frame? I have even started putting in things like, when I entered the trade, what time the trade came out. And it only takes me a second. I can do this really, really fast. And so, it might take somebody else a long time, but I can do it really quick And you know, and so that way, as we come out with more information and new information, I mean, everybody needs new information. You know, we want to know what's working now. We don't care what worked last week. You know, that's like the new rules of money. What worked last year, or when my mom and dad, you know, were in their earning stages, doesn't matter. It doesn't apply. We always need to be relevant. We always need to know what's happening right now. And so for me, I'm finding out, you know, what's working best for me. And as I find that information out, I'm passing it along to you guys. So here you'll see a lot of analysis, and I do take screenshots and keep a really good, clear, concise picture. And so what I'm finding here is that these trades, you know, when I'm entering into them, most of them, especially between certain hours, you know, they'll come in, they're going right to take profit. Some of them, you know, maybe hitting the area of stop loss or getting really close, and or they might just wick our take profit. But whatever the case is, I am keeping and monitoring really closely what's going on with the trades. And so I've already entered in my information for this one. I did not put it in right where I got in the trade at, though. I need to do that. Let me go ahead and move this over. All right, so what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I'll fiddle with all that later. What I'm going to go ahead and do now is I'm going to take you through the steps of the web analyzer and how to enter the trade, how to manage the trade. You know, managing your trades is very, very important. You have to, you know, not just enter the trade, but you also need to learn how to manage it. Like I was saying, it's very important also to learn how to count pips. Extremely important. All right, so here we go, and I'm going to use a little message board too. Let me check on, let's see. All right, I just wanted to check to see if we had any questions. All right, I'm not going to really take questions right now. I'll take them at the end. So we're going to go into the, we're going to go into this ERUSD, and let me see where I can write notes at. I think if I do a whiteboard, it will get rid of this screen, and I don't want to do that. So I'll just do it right here. I'll do it right here. All right. So step number one, when you, this is all, once you hear the cha-ching, step number one, and this is for just a scalping strategy, all right? I'm going to go ahead and make sure that everybody understands that. I love that sound. Oops, how about if I spell it right? All right, so we hear this cha-ching. Step one, go to your phone and enter the trade using market execution. All right. Step number two, if you have TradingView, if you're in the web analyzer and you already have TradingView, now you can get a free account. I'm not going to go through how to do that right now, but you can get a free account. But if you, since this isn't working right now, the settings on this isn't working, then what I would do is go to TradingView and click on the bottom. See if I can get, it doesn't want to, all right, I had to move my MACD out of the way. So when you click on TradingView, it'll open it up to the TradingView page, and then all you have to do is click on charts right here. Now I do have Web Analyzer set up as a chart layout. And then you'll click on, I have over here in my watch list the pairs. So you'll click on EURUSD. And then this is managing the trade. This is after you've already entered it. Let me get rid of this. I'll do it all over again. You'll go to the position toolbar. There's a lot of toolbars on the left-hand side. And also TradingView does have an app on the phone. So you can use all of these tools on your app. This is a sell. So a sell is the short position. You're going to go over and you're going to click on the candle. And since this is 5-minute candle, I believe I got in this trade in this candle right here. Now, automatically what happens is the position tool uses support and resistance, and it will give you a suggested stop loss and take profit, and it uses a 1-to-1 ratio, which normally when we're charting and we're doing other trading styles, I like to use a minimum of 1-to-1, but I prefer a 1-to-2 or 1-to-3 ratio. So what we're doing in scalping, kind of those strategies or those rules go out the window, because in scalping you do have to give the market a little bit more room to breathe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on right here, and I'm going to tell it that it might open up in style. You're just going to click on coordinates, and we're going to tell it we want to give it a 15 pip stop loss, which in TradingView it counts it in points or ticks. So we're going to add a 0, all right? Then our profit level, we're going to tell it we want to give it 5 pips, but that would be, you need to add a 0 so that that can be ticks or points. And then make sure right here you put in the price where you entered in, 17917 for me, and then say okay. Okay, so now I have entered the trade. I've also got it on my screen where I can visually see what's what it's doing. I keep this data for me for looking to the left, so I can see what I need to adjust. I might next time say we need to go 16 pips stop loss. I'm just kidding. But, that just kind of gives me that information that I need. All right. So we have that set. Now, what we need to do is this. If you don't know how to count your pips, this toolbar will tell you what your stop loss is and what your take profit is. So at the settings bar, right here, it will say stop level. Make sure you're looking at these because stop level and profit level interchange. If you're in a sell, stop level's at the top, profit level's at the bottom. But if you're in a buy, profit level's at the top and stops at the bottom. So just make sure you're paying attention. So it'll give you your price. So you want to enter that price in. Go ahead and do that. If you haven't done that, on your phone, you're going to tap on your trade, slide to the left, hit the pencil or select the pencil, and type in your stop level. Go ahead and do that now. And then once you're finished with that, put in your take profit. And of course, this is where I entered the market. Your numbers will be different unless you entered right where I did. And I'm going to leave those up there for just a moment. If somebody will put those in the messages in the chat so that I can go ahead and close this screen. I'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so this is the EURUSD. Stop loss is 1.18067. and take profit is 1.17867. And my entry, this is just so you'll know, my entry was 1.17917. All right, so everyone's is different. We're not going to really go over how to count pips. You really need to go into IML Academy and learn how to do that. Very important. All right, so now we've entered the trade, and let's see, step 2, where'd my notes go? All right, so step 1, we went to our phone, entered the trade using market execution. Step 2 is where we modify the trade. Well, let me say this. Step 2, you can either place the position tool to get stop loss and take profit, or manually calculate stop loss and take profit. And currently, for everyone that's interested, I am using a 5 and 15, and that is a 5 pip take profit and a 15 pip stop loss. Put these over here where you can read them. Ew. I think I need to. I'm going to leave those right here so you can read them. Okay, step 3 is sit back and watch your trade. All right, now this doesn't mean that you should stare at your phone, you should stress over it's going up or going down. Number 1 thing is you guys need to be doing this in demo at first. Number 2, you need to make sure that you are using proper risk management. You should never trade or risk more than 1 to 3% of your equity balance. I like to use equity balance because if you have some big drawdowns in something, then you very well may have a big difference in your account balance and your equity balance. So watching your trade, paying attention is a lot different than staring at your phone. Sometimes I close at 3 pips. You know, if it was really struggling and didn't just seem like it was going to make it, make it to that 5, or you know what, I'm like, you know what, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get out now. I feel good. 3 to 5 pips is great. So these are the basic steps. It's that simple, guys. That simple. The biggest thing right here is, if you're going to use the position tool, then learning how to use that in TradingView. All right, so I do want to show you a few. I do want to go back in time and just show you a few of these because I want you to see how the 5 and 15's been working. And I'm also going to go to a different pair. I can look at 2 or 3 pair here. Here's one. A lot of people got hit with their stop loss on UJ this morning. That one, for me personally, trading when New York opens, there's so much news between 8 a.m. and 10:30, and it's a lot of USD news. And so, this pair, and well, any pair really, is really, really volatile. So be really careful if you do. It did hit take profit, but some people are putting 10 pips in. What I'm noticing, and this is what I'm going to show you, So I had 5 pips in, and so it did hit the 5 pip take profit, and you know, you could close if you saw it going back down, whatever you wanted to do. But when it gets close to 5, you know, you want to get out of there. Let me go ahead and look back a little bit more. I want to show you a few. Let's see, I don't see them there. Here's some right here. I want you to see how effective it is for creating the tool, or creating the position tool, because you know, like I said, you can definitely go back and see what's working and what isn't working. And you know, this is amazing. It looks like it came in and it broke through take profit, and then you know, we would have been out of that trade in a heartbeat. But it's so important, I think, I think these are way back when I was first testing, and I wasn't using 5 pips. But if I had been using 5 pips, I would have gotten out of the trade before it ever went down. So anyway, that's the reason. I had some people asking me if I use that position tool just for cosmetic, you know, just for visual purposes. And I use it mostly for data analysis, but it really does help with the visual effect of watching the trade. Also, when I was on Facebook checking some things this morning, I saw that people are using the strategy, and we have people who are winning like 33 to 1. They're winning, you know, 11 out of 12 using this strategy right here. So, so you will, you know, go through, make sure you're on the ImarketsLive web analyzer page. Steve is, you know, definitely there for, you know, helping ask any questions or answer any questions that you might have. All right, so I'm going to go back and, oh, here's some other notes. How much am I willing to risk? Make sure that you know that. How much are you willing to risk before you put in your trade? That's one of the most important things that you should ask yourself. How much are you willing to risk when you enter into a trade? All right, so let me just go ahead and see if there's any questions. Yes, this is being recorded. All right, Tamara asked, are you waiting until the call price equals the market's current price before executing the trade in market execution? That's a great question, Tamara. So let me just show you over here what she's saying. So for instance, what she's asking is, if you got in, if you heard the cha-ching, and you noticed there was a new trade and the call price was 1.17865, and right now, as you can see by this red dotted line across here, let me get my arrow. As you can see by this red dotted line, this is the current market price, and it's at 17896. So if I was going to sell and it's higher, then, you know, I would go ahead and get in. But if I was going to be in a sell and it's lower, then I would wait till it got to that price and then entered into the market. So let me go ahead and do the position, and it's a short because it's a sell. I'm going to put it right on 17865. Kind of, sort of. All right. So if if it's in a sell, if you want to wait till it gets right here to the entry price, that's really good. You know, a lot of times, yes, Tamara, I will wait till it comes back to this area and then enter into the trade. You can see maybe where the current candle closes, you know, and then enter in. All right, and also you're going to have to be real cognizant of the time. So 16, this is the universal time, and at 16:14, this is 10:14 Central Time, 10:14 a.m. Central Time, because UTC time is 6 hours ahead of Central Time, and it is 5 hours ahead of Eastern Time. So all you have to do is subtract to get to your time. All right, I'm going to go to the next question. When using the web analyzer, if the recommended trade has a certain price, do you have to enter on that exact price? No, Ivan, you're actually going to enter in where the market's at. I mean, you know, at that time. And that's, you know, that's another reason why I like to drop that position tool, is because I like to see, wait a minute, where was it and where is it right now? But actually, I don't give it that much time or thought. As soon as it goes off, I enter the trade, and I do my 5 pip take profit and my 15 pip stop loss. So I really don't give it that much time, to be honest with you. But I try to enter it as soon as it goes off. All right. We are in profit on our EU trade that we put in. Fantastic. Yeah, definitely. Tamara, I do. I just enter it ASAP. If I was, you know, really behind and then getting to it, it's kind of like a swipe trade. I need to go look at where the market's at. But I don't really enter them if I'm more than 5 minutes. Okay, Monica asks, could you go over what the colored numbers represent on the right again? Monica, are you referring to the bar on the right-hand side where it says potential sell and potential buy? If you'll go ahead in the chat and explain to me which numbers you're talking about. Okay, and then Rosalind or Ngozi asked, please explain or expound on the positions long, short, etc. Also, what are the most used positions? All right, so there's only 2 positions, and that's sell or buy. And so let me go ahead and do one again. Monica, be sure you tell us what you were asking there. Okay, so if it's a sell, then when you go to your position tool, then you're going to choose short. You're going to drop it. I try to drop it really close to where I entered the trade at, because it is going to calculate, it's going to calculate pips, what it recommends your stop loss and take profit to be. So I try to put it right where I need it to be. Then the tool isn't working right now in the web analyzer. So like I said, I'm using it in the in my TradingView account, and I'm actually going there and making my adjustments. All right, did anybody else have any questions? Yes, sell is short and buy is long. Okay, my broker prices, this is from Tradina. My broker prices are slightly different from TradingView. So using TradingView throws me off a bit. What do you suggest? Actually, Tradina, all of our broker prices are going to be different. And so, but it really doesn't really matter, because, for instance, it was called at this price, 117,865. When I drop it on there, I'm going to put in my price. So I drop it right when I get in, and looks like, did we hit take profit already? Okay, I thought this was the one we put in. So when you modify you're going to put in where you got in at, 117, and so it won't matter what trading view says, 117, 917. So so that it won't matter what your price is versus the trading view price. You'll just be putting in yours, all right? And then you'll be adding your stop loss and take profit from there. All right. And my chat questions went blank, so I'm missing all of these. Let's see. Let me see what happened. Sean asked if I've experimented with the H1 signals. You know, I haven't gotten but one or two. And if I remember correctly, it was, I went in to take profit on that one as well. So I haven't had a lot of data experience with the H1. Okay. And then Howard asked, after I click on the position toolbar and click on the candlestick in the chart, I then click on the settings icon, but when I click on it, the box where I type in the stop loss and take profit does not appear. Correct. So Stephen is working on that right now. He's actually, it's a bug. Nothing's changed in the program. Somehow or another, that settings stopped working. So you're not doing anything wrong. That's just a bug right now. So you can either go to TradingView, or you can manually calculate your stop loss and your take profit. But also, if you do know how to calculate your stop loss and take profit, you can click on here and then drag this 5 pips and drag this 15 pips, okay? And so your entry was the 17937. Let's see, that doesn't look like the entry. See if I can get it to show me what the entry is. All right, so it's only showing me current market price. I can't really see the entry right now, but you should be able to. Let me see if I can. All right, so you can subtract and you can adjust this 5 pips. You're just going to have to manually subtract from the entry price. All right, so you're not doing anything wrong. Yes, the coordinates are the same, Joy, in TradingView because it's using ticks as well. So you just add a 0. All right, are there any more questions, guys? I'm going to go ahead and put this. Oh, yeah, it doesn't work anymore. And so we do have a couple of people who are working on a TradingView webinar so that we can learn the ins and outs of TradingView a little bit. I myself have only been working in TradingView for a week. I created my account a year ago, but I never used it. So I've been using MetaTrader 4 for the entire time I've been trading. So I'm brand new to TradingView, and so I would not be the one, I think, to really show you around it. But I do have 2 people that are going to be making a video for us, so I'm excited about that. All right, anybody else? Mainly, you're going to be putting these in your phone. You're going to be managing them from your phone. So once you learn how to calculate those pips, which, like I said, get to IML Academy and do that. All right, guys. Anybody else have any questions before we sign off?
Lee, this was amazing. I'm sure we'll do this again next week. I'm sure all of us feel the same way. Just, thank you for being so open, being so gracious and patient and going through the details of this. This is helping a lot of people right now. So I just want to say thank you on the behalf of everyone. And then very quickly, I think that I know we wanted to use this. We're going to be using this for Stephen Hooley for his recording. So I'm going to go ahead and shut it off because I don't want to Well, I don't know. Can I give a couple announcements? Can you edit this?
Edit it. Go ahead.
For him?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, Dr. China, are you on, hun? We got some exciting things going on with Vegas. Please get your tickets for the